Everyone's talking about AI. Almost nobody is talking about what happens when AI meets robotics at scale. I've been in enterprise tech long enough to know when something genuinely new is happening. This isn't two trends running parallel, it's a collision. AI that can reason, paired with machines that can act in the physical world. That combination doesn't improve the economy, it restructures it. A developer named Matt Shumer published an article about AI crossing a new capability threshold in knowledge work. It reached 30 million people in 24 hours. 30 million. That's not a viral post. That's a nerve being hit. People are waking up to the fact that the automation of complex knowledge work isn't theoretical anymore. It's not a roadmap item for 2027. It's live, it's in production, and it's already changing what gets done and who does it. The conversation just shifted from if to how fast. The first wave is real. Lawyers, accountants, software engineers, financial analysts, roles we thought required years of education and human judgment. AI systems are crossing thresholds where they can handle complex, logic-based work that we used to reserve for the most credentialed people in the room. But here's what's happening. 30 million people are watching knowledge work get automated, and they're completely missing what's coming right behind it. They're staring at the wave that's already hit while the bigger one builds offshore. Here's what most people are missing. There are two curves, not one. The first is cognitive, AI doing reasoning, coding, analysis. That's the wave everyone's watching. The second is physical, advanced robotics that can move, pick, navigate real space. That curve is running in parallel, quieter but just as fast. Most organizations are tracking the first and ignoring the second. Worse, they're not looking at where these two curves intersect, and they're about to. That intersection isn't additive, it's compounding. When cognitive automation and physical automation converge, when the thinking layer and the doing layer of the economy get automated simultaneously, the impact isn't additive, it's structural. Most planning cycles aren't modeling this. Companies are building 5-year roadmaps as if only one curve exists. Governments are forecasting workforce shifts like it's 2012, and everyone's acting like we have time to adjust. We don't. The convergence is already here. To see how fast this is moving, just look at the commercial reality unfolding right now. Amazon crossed 1 million robots in its fulfillment network in 2025. 1 million. Boston Dynamics is moving Atlas from research platform to commercial deployment at Hyundai facilities this year. Figure AI is deploying humanoid robots at BMW plants as we speak. Tesla's Optimus is transitioning from prototype demos straight to planned factory use. This isn't a pilot program, this isn't a proof of concept. The physical workforce is being deployed at scale today. 5 years ago, AI couldn't write a paragraph without inventing facts. Robots fell over crossing an empty room. Today, AI writes production code. Robots navigate warehouses autonomously. The gap between systems that can think and systems that can move has collapsed faster than anyone modeled. We went from "this might work someday" to "this is in production" in the time it takes most enterprises to finish a planning cycle. The speed isn't the impressive part. It's that both curves moved at once. This is what researcher Hamid calls structural compression. It's when cognitive automation, the thinking layer, and physical automation, the doing layer, compress at exactly the same time. When both curves hit together, organizations can suddenly scale operations with far fewer humans at both ends. Top and bottom, management and execution. It doesn't just change cost structure. It rewrites competitive dynamics faster than labor markets can adapt. Most strategic plans assume one curve at a time. Reality doesn't care what your plan assumes. Here's how it works in practice. Take a modern warehouse. You deploy AI to optimize delivery routes, forecast demand, schedule inventory. That's cognitive automation, the management layer. At the same time, you deploy robots to pick, pack, and move material across the floor. That's physical automation, the execution layer. Both layers compress simultaneously. The entire vertical stack gets automated in one move. The co-pilot and the forklift operator disappear at the same time. So what does this mean for you? Think about the traditional path. Education, entry-level job, build skills, move up. Every assumption we make for our kids' schooling, our own careers, our investments is built on that sequence still working. But what happens when machines take over both ends? The entry-level physical tasks and the entry-level cognitive tasks at the same time. The ladder we've been climbing just lost its bottom 3 rungs. Hanaparam, the entry-level ladder is vanishing. There's a line from the research that stuck with me. The bottom rungs may thin out dramatically. That's academic language for the entry-level career ladder is disappearing. And it's happening faster than any educational institution or workforce system can adapt to. If AI handles the entry-level spreadsheet analysis and robots do the entry-level warehouse sorting, the traditional path doesn't just get harder, it breaks. AI and robotics are changing who gets to participate. This shifts the whole conversation. We're not debating job losses anymore. We're asking a harder question. Who gets to participate in the economy at all? For centuries, labor was the universal entry ticket. You didn't need inheritance or connections. If you could work, you could participate. But when cognitive and physical labor both face automation at the same time, that ticket just became a lot harder to find. And most people still think this is about productivity. Afakimori, post-labor economics isn't a thought experiment. It's a planning problem. This brings us to post-labor economics. It's the study of what happens to meaning, purpose, and social structure when work as we know it transforms or vanishes. And let me be clear, this isn't philosophy for future generations to ponder over wine. This is a planning problem arriving in the next few business cycles. The organizations that survive this aren't the ones with the best value statement. They're the ones thinking about post-labor economics right now, while everyone else is still optimizing headcount. You don't need to go back to school, you need real-time signal. Take a breath. You're not powerless here. You don't need to pause your career for 6 months to catch up. You need better signal. The best tracking of model releases and robotics deployment isn't coming from the big institutional research firms. It's coming from independent observers who publish in real time, not quarterly. If this is your wake-up call, good. The people who see acceleration early don't have better degrees. They have better inputs. Independent analysts to follow for AI and robotics. If you want to track this in real time, here's where I get signal. David Shapiro breaks down post-labor economics better than anyone. Nate B. Jones covers strategic implications. Matthew Berman tracks model releases and capability assessments. Wes Roth does the deep technical breakdowns. AI Daily Brief and AI Revolution keep you current on what shipped today, not last quarter. Add them to your feed. The advantage goes to the people who see the curve while it's still building. If you want to stay ahead of this, follow for more. Namararam. Don't ignore the institutional research. Now, institutional research still matters. McKinsey Global Institute on Automation, Goldman Sachs on the macroeconomic impact of AI. These aren't optional reading. They give you the macro view, deployment timelines, labor market modeling, the quantitative foundation that complements the real-time signal from independent analysts. The strategy isn't one or the other. It's both. Fast updates for what's shipping today. Deep research for what it means at scale. Most people pick a side. That's the gap. Mamthidjan. The question your board is asking is already obsolete. So here's the critical shift. We have to change the questions we're asking. If your organization is in a boardroom right now debating whether to adopt AI for knowledge workers, you're already behind. That's baseline thinking. It's table stakes. Adopting AI for knowledge work is just the new cost of entry. It won't give you competitive advantage, especially not when the physical robotics wave hits at the same time. The question isn't should we, it's what happens when both curves land together. Oranjo, AI and robotics. Convergence, the question that changes everything. Here's the question that should keep you up at night. How do we restructure when cognitive automation and physical automation overlap significantly within the exact same planning window? Think about your own career, your company's supply chain, your children's education. The rules are being rewritten on both the thinking and the doing front simultaneously. The decisions you make today have to account for this hidden convergence. Most people will ignore this. The ones who don't will lead what comes next. Follow for more.